All right, y'all, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Got a lot to talk about today. Just to let you know, this is a talking head video. This is me running my mouth, right? Hey, shout out to Fosi, right? They got a nice product. I am not sponsored by them by any means, but I am really feeling their shades. It has been an excellent recommendation. And shout out to Brandon from Bike Fit RVA. He was the guy that put me onto these shades, and they have just been great, man. Price point is on point. I probably need to do a separate video on them by themselves. Also, we are on the Trek Madone today, bro, and there has been a lot going on with this bike, bro. I've made some changes, and the changes I have made is I've got a new set of gears on here. I am running a 55-42, and I am running an 11-32 Outback, and I'm just really excited about this, right? Also, the elephant in the room, bro, is these bars. Listen, I had picked up the Ribble Ultra SLR a little while ago, and the bars were hella dope, right? Riding that bike, I was like, I wonder what this bar would be like on another bike. And when I said another bike, the bike I had in question was the Trek Madone. So, being a home bike mechanic that I am, I snatched them off the Ribble, put them on the Madone, and we were riding them, bro. They look freaking sick, bro. They look freaking sick. They are a super clean bar. I'm loving it. I feel right at home. As far as the bar specs, like the stem and the reach, the total bar system length was 180. The last bar that I had on here was a 180. So bike fit wise, exactly the same, except for these are a little more narrow and a little more arrow. So speaking of bars, one of the things I really want to talk about, and this is the biggest thing why I wanted to do a video today, was talking about the UCI, bro. Yo, the UCI. I low-key think the UCI don't like cyclists, bro. They don't like cyclists. They don't like cycling. I don't know what them guys be on, man. Because the stuff they be banning be out of freaking control, bro. Out of control. Now, the things that they ban, it's like aero helmets and road races. Now, I ain't even gonna lie, I don't have no qualms against that one, right? Because these new aero helmets be looking freaking crazy, bro. And don't get me wrong, I love a good TT, man. I really do. I like a good TT event. I like time trial bikes. They're hella dope. But those helmets in a road race, come on, bro. We gotta draw the line somewhere. So I ain't really too upset about that one. Now, one that kind of has me offended. Well, I ain't gonna say offended. One of the things that have me concerned is this, like on the bike dimensions with like the head tube and stuff, bro. Yo, that's huge, man. You got like the new Factor that just dropped without, dang, that deep head tube. You know, the new Cervelo S5. You got that Dare bike. I mean, there's so many bikes that have been kind of recently released that had that deep head tube profile. And now you're not going to be able to have that? That's going to really change the game. Now, these rules don't take effect. I think it's a 2026 season. So with as big as these brands are, you know, and them having to keep these sales and stuff up, I wonder how much bike innovation and revision is going to take place before 2026, you know, because of if these brands want people riding their bikes in these sanctioned events, they're going to have to make the changes because, you know, this stuff's illegal. So I don't know, man. it's very interesting. I'm kind of low-key disappointed because with all these different bike designs and the UCI being a little more relaxed with the rules, it was really opening it up for innovation. And I personally like seeing just stuff that's different, man. If you're a traditional individual and you like traditional lines and bikes and stuff like that, dope. I got a love for those things too. And then if you like the more modern, innovative, I like that too. So I kind of like everything. But like I said, with these new rules, it's gonna be different, man. Now, the biggest rule that I personally believe it'll be revised, or there's gonna have to be a deeper look. It just has to be, because it doesn't make any sense, right? And it's the big elephant in the room. It's this bar size, bro. Yo, the bar size game, that's crazy, bro. The bar with the minimum standard is 400, bro. 400. That's why, bro. That's hella wide. I ain't gonna lie. I say maybe 2 years or so ago, dude, I was on wide bars in love and life. I was riding like 40s, 42s, never thought about it. Just loving life, man. Everybody was going to a more narrow bar. I didn't really believe the hype or buy into the hype. And then one day, I was like, you know what? Let me just try it. You know what I'm saying? It's like things that you've heard as far as it being harder to control, not being stable. I mean, it's all hearsay unless you try it for yourself. So, dude, I have bought a narrow set of bars and, bro, I've been loving it ever since, man. The majority of my bikes are 38 bars and 36 bars, right? And matter of fact, one of the reasons I'm getting rid of my Cervelo S5 is because I have the older Cervelo, and it's harder to find a bar system for that. And the bars on that bike are 400, bro. And whenever I ride that bike, dude, I feel like I'm driving a bus, man. That 400 is just, it's just so freaking large, man. I've gotten so used to the 36s and the 38s. Like those sizes just, they just really feel at home to me, man. And then like, if you look at this cockpit right here with the Ribble, man, I want to say that these measure, like where the bars connect, they measure 34, and then in the drops they're at 40. And then you throw some tilt in, I want to say, when I'm riding in the tops, it might be like 32, bro. And I know what you're thinking, like, that is crazy narrow, bro. And I was low-key kind of worried about it when I got the bike, right? Because I was like, man, like I said, I had been riding 36s, but with something being like 34, 32, I was just like, that's just gonna be way too narrow. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. Hella comfortable, bro. Hella comfortable. I feel at home. And the only thing I can tell somebody is that if you've never tried it, try it, man. Just try it. That's all I'm saying. Just try it. If you haven't ridden narrow bars, I'm just saying you're missing out, man. And if you got a lot of things to say about it and you haven't ridden it, I'm just asking you to try it, bro. You know, if you've been on the channel more than a day, you see I'm all about trying stuff, building stuff, different configurations, man. I'm always be trying stuff, right? Another dope thing that I really like about this bar is if you look at the middle where the bike computer mount is and where you mount your bike computer, there's a button right there, right? And it's a subscribe button, right? If you are liking the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. But anyway, yeah, narrow bars, man. And one of the reasons why I say I'm offended by it, because I am 5'6". I ain't no big guy. I don't have no big, wide, broad shoulders. So a more narrow bar suits me, man. There's a lot of people who race. There's a lot of people that ride. And they just may be a rider of a smaller stature, right? And then you have a lot of women, you know? And being forced to ride a 400, that's a lot, bro. That's a lot. I can understand, let's say, I don't know, man, you 6'3". You 6'3", you wide, you tall, and they say you gotta have a size 40 bar. I still don't like it, but I can understand it just from the proportion standpoint, right? But if you're like 5'4", bro, let's say you're a 5'4" lady, you're not broad, you know what I'm saying? Built like some strongman competitor, right? And you're forced to ride a 40? Bro, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. That's gonna mess a lot of stuff up, man. Because when you are dialed into your fit and everything is working, man, in unison and harmony, everything, and someone alters that, that's a lot, man. When I was riding 40s, just coming from a 38, going to a 38, and even jumping to a 36, like I said, if I rode my Cervelo S5 with the 400, it just felt super foreign. I hop off of that, it didn't jump on my VAM. On the 36s, man, it was such a big difference. Of all the rule changes, I really think the UCI needs to revisit that, man. They got to. It's unfair. It's low-key discriminatory, man, for smaller riders. I think there has to be some type of calculation that goes to, person's body type. Has to be, man, just to be, I'm not even gonna say fair, just to be reasonable, bro. Because like I said, you're 5'4", you're riding a 400, that's ridiculous, bro. That's ridiculous, right? So I guess I got a couple questions for y'all. Of all the rule changes, what do you think is the most ridiculous, man? And then also, on the bike width thing, right? Because I ain't gonna lie, some of these bars are getting ridiculously narrow, man. You're seeing some folks riding like 32s, 30s, even below 30, bro. My next question is, what size bar would you consider safe? You know? Or what size under would you consider being unsafe, right? In my opinion, I think bars that are 36 and up is safe. You shouldn't have no problem handling your bike, riding your bike, control, stability. I say 36 and up should be safe. Anything under 36 is questionable. And I say questionable with a question mark. And I'd say the question mark is because, well, I can't say I haven't ridden anything narrower than that because the bars I'm on are narrower than 36. But I gotta get some more time on them. But anything smaller than that, like a 30 or something like that, I haven't ridden it, so I really don't know. But like I said, what size bar do y'all think should be allowed? What's the smallest size? Yeah, let me know in the comments, man, because I'm really interested to see what folks say about that. And for me, I'm a recreational cyclist, bro. I don't race or nothing like that, so of course, none of these rules really apply to me. Or like you seen from the thumbnail, UCI legal. Technically, yes, but I don't race, so those rules aren't applicable to me. But let me know, man, That's all I got for you, man. This your boy, Mr. Rob Armstrong. I've been in the flats, bro. I'm about to go do a little bit of climbing, so I'll holler at y'all later. I'm out.